Yo, check it. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. In this video, we're looking at AMC, GME, and SPY. We'll also look at Bitcoin as well. This is your daily update and prediction for stocks and crypto, giving you guys the news, technicals, and fundamentals that you need to know as traders and investors. This video is not financial advice, should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. Meme stocks are primed to pump. The market could be setting up for a top. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video and Bitcoin's potential recovery, so do not miss a second of it. Let's not waste any more of your precious time and hop in the charts, facts, data. Let's go. All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. In this video, we're looking at AMC, GME, and SPY. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. I'm also going to look at Bitcoin as well. This is your daily update and prediction for stocks and crypto, all the news and technicals you need to know for trading and investing. Let's go ahead and hop into that. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. So I want to start off with this piece of news. Interesting that we were just talking about this on the live stream, how the SEC is not there to help us. They are literally there to stop and hinder things, put out lawsuits against XRP. Why? Well, Coinbase is doing something about them. At least we have somebody on our side or standing up against the SEC and the corruption. SEC literally not doing their job, as we've seen AMC's float literally get traded in one single day, meaning that obviously there are synthetic shares. Again, if we go back here and you guys can see when we had this big pop to the upside on AMC, we literally traded 634 million shares in one day. That is the AMC float, at least at minimum 2 times, almost 3 full times. So this is absolute insanity. The SEC is not here to help us. They are here to hinder and hurt, and somebody is standing up or trying to stand up, and Coinbase is suing the SEC, alleging regulators are trying to cripple the crypto industry. So just wanted to start off with that little bit of news, and it was interesting that we were talking about that during the live stream, and now we just seen that article come out. So I wanted to touch base on that first. Now, let's go ahead and get into the technicals for GameStop and then go into the technicals for AMC and show you guys what's going on for today. So if you've been following the channel, you guys already know that we've been tracking this falling wedge. You guys can see we have this falling wedge here. We've been tracking this for a couple days now. I told you guys if we break out of it, we would at least go to 25.93, and you guys can see we did hit that price target here. Now, there are a lot of calls at this $25 level. So this $25 level is a major level. We were able to close above it today, and I think if we can close above it here on Friday, that's going to give us a nice gamma push to the upside here on the following week. So GameStop is not only set up in a prime technical way, but it also has a gamma setup as well. So literally, GameStop primed to pump. If we can break above that $25 level, holding that in Friday, and again, if we have a bullish Friday, the memes are going to blast off, because Friday they want to push us down. They want to get calls out of the money. They don't want to pay out on those calls or get those shares. So they don't want us to get that gamma ramp either. So if we have a bullish Friday, you guys know it is on and popping for GME. So potentially set up here for a bullish Friday. Hopefully we hold the $25 level. Where we really want to be is above this $25.93, because if we can break above $25.93, that gives us the setup to move towards this $30 level. And again, I told you guys here multiple times on GameStop, once you break above $30, you tend to see these nice pops to the upside. So that's what we're looking at for GameStop. And normally once we break above that $30 level, you see those nice moves. So $30, $40 is where things could get explosive for GME, and that's where we want to ultimately see the stock go. And based off of the fractal, that's where it's saying we're going to go. You guys can see that we are tracking with the fractal. I told you guys we were probably roughly in this area here, and you guys can see that's what's starting to form now. You guys can literally see the shape is starting to form. It looks like we're getting that bullish bull flag that I told you to look out for in last video. I told you guys look out for those bull flags because GME really likes to pump off of those. It looks like we might be getting one of those here and getting a push to the upside. So if GME can hold that $25 level, getting us that gamma from the calls that just got purchased today. A lot of people bought call options today around that $25 level, so we can hold those calls in the money. It will definitely give us a decent gamma push to the upside, potentially letting us see hitting that $30 level in not this week, but next week. So we are primed to pump. I don't think it's going to be Friday, but I think next week we're going to see a very nice move to the upside, potentially here for GME, and we'll get into that as that occurs. But right now, I think we're setting up for that move. And a lot of people are like, oh, man, it's boring, blah, blah, blah. You need to understand that stocks do not always move up or not always move down. They must consolidate. The fact that we had this massive push to the upside and now we are consolidating at these higher levels is extremely important. This means that GameStop is primed to make another move to the upside off of technicals alone, regardless of what the fractal says. The fractal says we are going to be returning back up to that previous high of around that $47 level. So I think that GameStop is setting up for this move to push us towards that higher range of $47 to $50. As you guys can see here on the fractal, you go to the previous peak. So right here's the peak, and then we should be going back up to that level. So if you see GameStop get explosive, do not be surprised. Do not go crazy on this, as this could be happening at different times as the fractal does speed up and slow down. But as of right now, it looks like we're setting up for that push to make that higher move towards that $30, $40, $50 level here on GME. Probably not this week as it is wrapping up this week. I think we're setting up for that with the gamma, and then next week should be pretty decent based off everything I'm seeing here. And I'll let you guys know if that does change off of anything we do see. But right now we do have a falling wedge on the smaller time frames. You guys can see that we're kind of breaking out of it here in after hours. I kind of anticipated that. I think we're going to consolidate right underneath this $25 level. Then in the morning slightly drop down and then pop above that $25 level, ultimately holding that and probably pushing towards $25.93. So we probably will push towards these higher ranges. And again, if we get above that $25.93, that could set us up for that $30 level. And if we can stay above $25, that can give us the gamma ramp. So into next week, we can get that bullish push up. So that's what we're looking at for GameStop as far as technicals are concerned. Let's go ahead and show you guys a little bit of fundamental data and then hop into the technicals for AMC. So you guys can see right now we have 14.43% short interest, or short interest coming down slightly here for AMC. Shares available to borrow, and this is something to take note of, 250,000. Right now, not a lot. They'll probably try to get some for tomorrow morning because they're going to be running short heavily, trying to push it down, especially because it is Friday. They want to try to push it down as far as possible. You guys can see they're already loading up here on GameStop, 1.5 million. And unfortunately right now, because of the dilution, it is easier for them to get short shares for GameStop. You guys can see cost to borrow only sitting at 0.65%. People are like, how do they get all these shares? How do they get all these shares? They are literally selling them the shares with the dilution. And when you add all those shares into the float, it makes it easy to get the shares to short. That's the opposite of what you want for a short squeeze, and it helps the shorts out. But again, that liquidity starts to dry up. They get kicked the can down the road. They keep shorting and eventually end up in the same boat anyways. But as of right now, shorts are getting a little bit of relief in that area of cost to borrow, 0.65%, and they're having shares because of that recent dilution from Ryan Cohen. So this is something we want to look at for GME. You guys can see cost to borrow completely dropping off a cliff after the dilution, and that's something you can normally expect, as I did call that out for AMC as well. Now you guys can see AMC cost to borrow still remaining elevated right now at time of recording, sitting at 1.72%. We want to see these cost to borrow levels remain elevated, if not going higher. If we see cost to borrow shoot up, you can believe price is going to be shooting up. So we do watch cost to borrow. You guys can see last time cost to borrow shot up, we also had a big move in price. You guys can see this was around 513, and if we go back to the price action for AMC on 513, you guys will see that we had a nice push to the upside. So if we do see cost to borrow go up, that is indicative of a move coming in the meme stocks, and that's something we can normally determine based off of cost to borrow alone. So that's what we want to see. We want to see cost to borrow going up. It's sitting at 1.72%, relatively stable as of right now. Now, as far as data drops and anything going on tomorrow, we do have a few things popping off. We have core PCE, we have personal income month over month, and personal spending month over month. You do want to watch for these data sets dropping, as they are 3-packed in star data. So this is going to be high impact and move the market. So watch out for those data drops around 8:30 tomorrow morning. So that's what we're looking at as far as that. Let's go ahead and hop in the technicals for AMC and show you guys what's going on for AMC. and where I think AMC is headed. I think AMC is going to be consolidating slightly above this 472 level. I think what we'll be doing is probably using this level as support and then pushing up towards 480, maybe even $5. Now, if AMC can break above and hold $5, you're definitely going to get a decent gamma ramp to the upside. You guys can see here on the options chain, if we go to AMC, there are a total of 57,000 calls expiring in the money if we can get over that $5 level. So you want to see that push towards that $5 level. Holding 450 is ultimately what we're going to see as well, but AMC is looking very, very good, guys. I think we're going to see a push towards $5 in my personal opinion. I think we're going to get this gamma off of 450 tomorrow. I don't think they're going to be able to push us down below 450, and that's going to give us push to the upside off of that gamma off of 450 level, possibly pushing us towards $5. And if we can get to $5, things could get pretty exciting here for AMC stock. Ultimate goal is holding 450 though tomorrow. We don't want to see go below 450. I think we're set up for a potential bullish Friday, which is a big deal for the meme stocks. You guys can see we're above the blue medium line, green MACD right now. RSI getting kind of hot here on these higher time frames, but if you guys look, we still have a little bit room to run. 4 hour time frame, you guys can see we're like right on the edge of the bands, getting this nice push up after breaking out of this falling wedge that we've been tracking. I told you once we broke out of the falling wedge, we'd be heading towards 472 and also that $5 price target. So there is still upside off of this falling wedge. So again, we could potentially hit that $5 price target either tomorrow or next week. And that's where things could get really explosive for AMC. Now, as far as the fractal is concerned, again, it likes to speed up and slow down. They tried to short us out of the falling wedge, but we managed to get the break out and pop to the upside, which is exactly what we wanted to see. Now we're back above that critical resistance of 472. This is a huge resistance. It's been a huge resistance line this whole time, and it's helping us get towards that higher level that's going to see us have that breakout. Now, the fractal says for AMC that AMC is going to be making a significantly higher move than GME. So I think AMC could be seeing an explosive move coming up here. Again, do not get crazy, but if we break above that $6 level, that is going to be confirmation of that upside, that phase 7 and 8 here on the fractal. I think we could potentially be setting up for that move because we now broke out of that falling wedge. That falling wedge, and I told you guys this is what we wanted to see, and it's tracking perfectly. I said we wanted to see this falling wedge play out. That will give us the momentum that we need to potentially give us that upside to break above that golden $6 level where we could really start to see an explosive move. And you guys can see last time we broke above $6, we absolutely took off. And if we break above $6 again with some momentum and use it as support, we are absolutely going to take off again. It's a major technical level. You guys can see we reject from it hard and we rip from it hard. So if we can get above it using as support, we are absolutely going to pump. And that's not even counting gamma or anything, FOMO, anything else like that, based off technicals alone. If you add gamma, add FOMO, we could absolutely see a massive pump to the upside like we're expecting to possibly see here coming up in the near future. So looking good for AMC as far as technicals are concerned. I think we're set up for a bullish Friday here for the meme stocks and potentially a bullish next week as well. I'm going to be talking about that obviously in the weekly outlook and prediction, but I did predict a green week for the meme stocks, and it looks like we are turning out to get that green week. And again, I know it's boring, it's consolidating, but sometimes you have to consolidate to build these bullish bases to get these pushes to the upside. Okay, so sometimes you have to consolidate and it's boring and it's not that exciting, but it's actually what you want so you can get that move and build that base and get that higher move. So we pushed up, we're building a base, and I think we're going to push up again. Ladies and gentlemen, meme stocks looking primed to pump. All right, let's go. So let's go ahead and hop here into SPY. Show you guys what's going on SPY. And Bitcoin. I'm just going to quickly do Bitcoin real quick because Bitcoin's kind of straight to the point, and then I'll do SPY. So Bitcoin, I want to see us break back above $61,600. I think Bitcoin is actually setting up for a recovery bounce back towards these higher levels, towards 65, maybe even 69K. I think that actually Bitcoin might be setting up for, and mark my words when I say this, and I could be wrong, but I think Bitcoin is actually setting up for a break of this range, believe it or not. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself because we could definitely see a flush down if we lose that 59K level. But what I think is actually going to be happening is Bitcoin is going to get a bullish reversal and potentially get enough momentum to potentially actually break out of this overall trading range that we've been in. And if we do break above that $72,000 level, we could see a decent pop to the upside for BTC. So overall, we are in an uptrend. Looking good, consolidating, and I think we're possibly going to see a higher high for BTC, believe it or not. It doesn't look like it right now, but I think we're going to see a recovery back up towards that 65K level, and if we get back above 69.2K, we are definitely in the game for breaking that 72K level. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin right now. In the micro time frame, we want to see it break back above 61.6K using this level of support so we can push up. Now, let's go ahead and go into SPY and show you guys what's going on for SPY and then wrap up this video. I want to show you guys daily MACD starting to curl down, RSI still sitting in that overbought territory. Again, we're still sitting in very, very frothy territory, and that's why there is little to no room to run for SPY. You guys can see sitting at 76 as well here on the weekly time frame. So even if SPY was able to make a recovery and push to the upside, I feel like it will reject from this overall macro channel and then push to the downside. I think SPY is potentially, again, we cannot get ahead of ourselves because SPY is in a very powerful uptrend, but potentially setting up for an overall top. 550 is a major psychological level. It looks like we're right now consolidating underneath it where we could maybe get a bullish push above it. But if we can't break above that 550 level, we could end up rejecting out of this channel. And with the RSI being as high as it is, we really don't have what it takes to run up past this level, because if we popped up over 550, it would really start to run, and then things would just get extremely crazy and probably have a devastating pullback. I know that people think that it's doom and gloom, but I'm literally looking at the economy and at the data. And right now you guys can see with things like GDP, which just dropped today, dropping at 1.4%. GDP, little to no growth with high inflation. That is literal stagflation. So we do not have the quote unquote strong economy that they say that we have that would support these type of valuations. And if you took AI and replaced it with .com and went back to 1999, you would see very similar things where anything with the name .com blew up, anything with the name AI is absolutely pumping. So again, I really feel like this market is just frothy and really artificial in my personal opinion, and that's why I feel like this is a bubble. I've also gave you guys demonstrations and evidence and why I think it is with the M2 money supply, how they printed all of this money. I feel like all of this excess liquidity is still in the system and yet to be flushed out. Now, as far as technicals are concerned, SPY is breaking back above this level of 545.78, and that is bullish. I think SPY could be pushing towards 548, but potentially starting to get a rejection from around those levels. SPY looks like it's trying to get a bullish move back to the upside, but again, with RSI being so frothy, it has little or no room to run. I think we would come up to these levels of like 549, 548, and then start to pull back, and then that could potentially lead us to breaking down out of this channel. So we want to watch very, very closely of the level of 550. If you can break above that, you would definitely see a decent move to the upside, but if we cannot, this could potentially be the top for SPY. And what we're also doing to determine this is looking at key stocks like NVIDIA. NVIDIA is starting to show signs of weakness. Now, I'm not saying NVIDIA is topping just yet, but it's starting to show signs that it potentially could be. You guys can see that we have this bearish engulfing here. We closed candles below it. That is confirming the bearish engulfing. Right now, Bollinger Bands are starting to tight up where we are above the blue medium line, but we do have red MACD, and this is on the daily time frame. If we get below the blue medium line with the red MACD and the bands get tight, that means this is setting up for a move to the downside. And this could potentially also be making a head and shoulders type structure. You have a shoulder here, a head here, and a possible shoulder forming here if NVIDIA cannot break back above this 133 level. So we want to watch this very, very closely. If NVIDIA comes down to fill these gaps, it's going to take the market with it. And we want to watch Apple very, very closely as well. And Apple also looking pretty frothy. RSI sitting at the 68 level here on the daily time frame, and on the weekly time frame sitting at 70. had a major push to the upside with no pullback yet. So when Apple pulls back, it's also going to take the market with it. And again, this is just a little bit of speculation, but I really feel like they pumped Apple once they seen that NVIDIA started to show weakness and start to top out. And again, insiders are taking profit on NVIDIA. Weekly candle is a doji candle, so it could still break either way. But this is showing signs of indecision that it could break down or could break up. So you want to watch major levels, and NVIDIA could potentially be topping. You guys can see that you came back inside the bands here on the weekly time frame. So that definitely shows that momentum is starting to fade. You can see RSI kind of coming down. That's showing momentum starting to fade. So want to watch this very, very closely, as NVIDIA could potentially be starting to top out and taking the market with it, with this AI bubble. So guys, this is the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. I appreciate it if you guys watch the end to get the video in its entire context. If you find a video informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe. And I appreciate you guys for showing your support and appreciation. You guys have been absolutely crazy lately, showing your support on the live streams and everything else. Obviously, I got the DZ merch right now. You guys can check out the link below and check out the DZ merch for yourself if you want to support the channel in a different way. But again, if you want to do it absolutely free, just leave a comment and like. So this is the merch. This is one of the tees. I got some more tees on the way. I'll show you guys what this is looking like. You guys can check out the store. We got a ton of new designs coming out all the time, so it's always updating. So keep an eye on it. And I appreciate you guys. As always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. All right, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe. Support the channel for absolutely free. And again, you can check out the merch link down below if you want to support the channel in a different way. And I appreciate you guys for making this possible. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.